Welcome to this episode of the Sports Detective Podcast Show. My name is James Williams, and today Cleveland Browns fans have found Deshaun Watson's burner Twitter account. What are we talking about? Well, the clip I'm about to show you is something I just saw when I got home from work today, and it's basically what everyone believes is a burner account for Deshaun Watson, because this account that goes by the name Leroy Bickerstaff has no, which if I was going to ever be super famous and have a Twitter burner account, which I don't plan on doing, but if I were, I'd probably pick like a odd kind of name like Leroy Bickerstaff. In hindsight, I feel like you just want to be like my actual name, which is super bland and like boring. And like, there's a million of me out there, but Leroy Bickerstaff is just quite a name. And this account, its sole purpose was basically defending Deshaun Watson. And it's being a reply boy to a bunch of criticism of Deshaun Watson. And it's basically blaming offensive line play for the Browns' poor play and blaming play calling and basically saying, hey, the offense isn't playing well, but you shouldn't only blame number 4. There's all this other stuff going on. And it's basically being this super, reply boy for Deshaun Watson. It's also only referring to him as number 4. And in some of these tweets, it's talking about him as like, this godlike-esque figure. And the account too, all of the tweets have been deleted except for like one that was made on Monday night. And basically, as I'm going to show you, even though they've been deleted, somebody did do a screen recording of all of the tweets, and we're going to run through all of those here in a second. But obviously, I want to point this out here too. We don't know that it is Deshaun Watson, but I think after we go through all of this stuff, Occam's razor, what is the most logical conclusion is probably the conclusion. You'll probably believe that if it's not Deshaun Watson, it's someone that is very, very close to him. Because, and again, we don't know for sure. We're not making accusations here. We're just kind of speculating on all this stuff. So I'll go ahead and just show you this video here because this is kind of amazing. So hold on, I'm gonna have to pause throughout out a lot of this just because this is kind of keeps going like this. So this is the first one. If 4 had a tackle like Trent Williams, he'd be able to show off his greatness. 4 can't succeed when he's got no chance back there. That is the last tweet. That is the last tweet that is still up there. Everything below this has been deleted. Just an FYI. So we'll go ahead and read through all of this. So this next one's from Cleveland HQ. Love seeing. Basically, that's like. Love seeing all the fake Browns fans already write this team off. We're going to be just fine. Leroy responds, someone gets it. One game ain't nothing. Just wait till the O-line play and play calls stop holding 4 back from his greatness. See, that's what I mean about like the guy, like just calling him like, oh my God, he's like this greatness. Like it's very odd. Like you'd feel like even the most diehard Deshaun Watson fan would even admit like, hey, which I don't know how many there are left because of his off the field, terrible things that he has done. And then also his on the field play. I don't know how many people would be left talking about Deshaun Watson like this. So we'll continue here. This account tweets 10 penalties on the offensive, on just the offense alone yesterday. 1 eligible downfield O lineman on an RPO, 2 false starts, 2 holding calls, 2 illegal shifts, 3 illegal formations. Yep, but we're going to come on here and blame 4 when it's the offense as a whole. Give 4 no chance of success when he's backed up like this every time. Okay, Dan Orlovsky. He's replying to a Dan Orlovsky tweet on this next one. If Dan Orlovsky is out on you as a quarterback, you can tell that you have been playing absolutely abysmally. Abhorrent, horrific, because Dan Orlovsky is the ultimate quarterback apologist. He is the ultimate quarterback cheerleader. And Dan Orlovsky is saying here, I would be thinking long and hard about Jameis Winston and moving him to be my starting quarterback. Leroy responds, come on, man, there's more to life than football. Go through S off the field. But after one game, we're going to let the dude that ran through the back of the end zone tell us 4, not the answer man. Come on. Again, the fact that he keeps calling him 4 here, not QB4, not Deshaun, not Deshaun Watson, the fact that he keeps referring to him here as 4 is very, very fishy if you're doing your BS detector on whether this is a burner account or not. Okay, so the next one, I'm not going to be able to scroll back for that. Basically, I think that person was talking about it's a quote from Jerome Ford talking about their play yesterday. He said, Leroy responds, Ford got the respect of his teammates, and that's all that matters. Nobody care what the fools on the app got to say about a man they don't know. Okay. We move on here. Scroll down. So this person tweets, Jerome Ford on Deshaun Watson's leadership in the huddle. He was a warrior, hand bleeding, even when we're down. Just seeing him work, seeing him fight for those extra yards, it just shows you what kind of guy he is. Guys in the locker room got Ford's back all day long. It's y'all that never played the sport and don't know Ford that coming on here and blaming Ford for not succeeding in an impossible situation. Again, here, though, you'd think of this as some sort of Brown super fan. There's no tweets defending Amari Cooper. There's no tweets defending, Myles Garrett. It's just all Deshaun Watson based here. So let's continue here. Because these get worse, by the way. They somehow get worse. Oh, crap. Can I go back? Yeah. So Cam Justice here. Oh, wait. We did that one. Oh, Cam White. So this is a perfect ball that was dropped. Y'all got to stop this madness. So let's continue here. This is kind of hard. And we still going to sit here and act like Ford still don't got it. Pressured on damn near every drop back, and Ford still standing in and delivering dots in the fourth. If that ain't heart, I don't know what is. God, this guy is just obviously we know why. Or we believe that we know why. So they're calling out Stephen A here for, what did Stephen A say about Deshaun Watson? I'm not saying they're a horrible team, but the Browns might have a terrible or a horrible quarterback. What did Leroy have to say to that? Stephen A. Smith never played a sport in his life. First off, he played college basketball. I do think he had like injuries during that, but he still did play college basketball in his life, but always want to talk like he's one of them ones. Always say whatever will get clicks instead of speaking the facts. Okay. This one's responding to a person responding to Cleveland Browns. All right, Deshaun, get your ass off Twitter and get in the film room, or does Newsom have a table at Barley tonight? I don't know. It's probably some Cleveland stuff that I don't understand here. This is where it's like, I think people like first saw that and they're like, is this actually him? You don't know me, fool. Go make a frozen meal or some. Because that one's basically saying like, this guy's talking specifically about Deshaun Watson. He's saying, you don't know me. This is the one that if you were maybe on the fence, like, maybe this isn't a burner account. Maybe it's just some really, really fringe psycho Deshaun Watson fan. This is the one where it's like that it becomes the hardest to defend. I actually didn't read through all of these before then. So there's that one where it's like, hey, it's probably him. Okay, continue here. The final score of the game. Meanwhile, Baker hangs 37 on Washington. Leroy responds, crazy what a QB can do when the line blocks and coach calls good plays. By the way, if you watch that game, Baker, like there was times where Washington was like having a really good pass rush and Baker was just balling. He was avoiding pressure. He was scrambling. Like Baker was freaking awesome. Like he played like, I hate to say it, but like a top 5 quarterback over the weekend. He was amazing. Okay, so this one's replying to NFL. Wow, Watson sucks. Leroy responds like, you could do better. Shut up. B, sitting on the couch all day. This one, another one. Deshaun Watson's career is over. Crying emoji. Coach is ruining the career of one of the best athletes of the generation. Oh my God, one of the best athletes of a generation. Oh my God. I mean, dude's he's got Twitter confidence. He might not have on-field confidence. So this one, somebody says here, cut Deshaun. Ford does nothing but put his blood, sweat, and tears into this team, and this is how y'all treat him. I see why Braun left twice. Ford, get out of town and continue greatness somewhere else. You might be in a prison league soon, dude. So this one's a Deshaun Watson running the offense and someone driving like a ATV and just flips it upside down, and they respond. Leroy responds. It's Deshaun Watson running the offense. Leroy responds, I'd like to see you try, fool. Okay. Deshaun Watson needs to go. No protection. Sorry play calling. Deshaun did all he could today. He's the furthest thing from the problem. I'm spending a lot of time doing this. So I'm going to try and cut. There's only like 15 seconds left in this thing. Bench Deshaun, or you're unserious about winning. This is high school state chip. College Natty says otherwise. Sorry, franchise making one of the all-time greats look bad, calling him an all-time great. Um, that is absolutely amazing. And it's like, yeah, all of that stuff. High school, when was Deshaun Watson in high school? Like 2013. So this one counts just saying he is ass. And Leroy responds, nah, what's ass was the play calling trying to make him play in a system he's not comfortable in. This one responds, Deshaun Watson still sinks. What a surprise. Leroy responds, someone wait, ain't watch the game. Line gives him no time in the pocket and no chance to make plays. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so if we're saying that this is true, that this is Deshaun Watson's burner account, and or if it's someone close to him in their burner account, I think this basically confirms what we already knew, or reaffirms what we already knew. This dude is way in his head. He has become an absolute head case at the quarterback position. He is far, 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 far away from the quarterback that he was with the Texans. He's never going back. He's never going to become that guy again. Guys, if you look at him when he was in Houston, his last year in Houston, I understand that season was terrible for that football team, but he led the NFL in yards, had 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Since he's gotten to Cleveland, when he came back from the suspension, 58 yards, or excuse me, 58% completion percentage, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 1,100 yards. Next year, 6 games, basically the same stats, same completion percentage. I mean, he was 8-4 in those games, but you could watch those games. He's not good. They're winning in spite of him, not because of him, right? And then this year on Sunday, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 53% completion percentage, 169 yards passing. And this isn't a thing like that account was saying that it's the offensive line, it's the receivers, it's the play calling. Now, are they perfect? Are they the best in the NFL in all those spots? No. But when you look at all of the parts of this football team as a whole, basically the reason that Cleveland took this huge gamble on Deshaun Watson in the first place was like, hey, if this dude can come back and he can be just an above average quarterback, like a top 16 quarterback in the league, theoretically, Cleveland's a Super Bowl contender. No debate. They have a lot of very talented offensive weapons. They have a lot of very talented defensive weapons, including maybe the best pass rusher in the NFL, debatably in Myles Garrett. And you also have Kevin Stefanski, who this account here was ripping as being this bad play caller, but that dude also won Coach of the Year twice. Again, maybe you can say the Coach of the Year award is silly, but it's also not nothing. It's not nothing. Deshaun Watson is completely unsalvageable. And this is by far, the Bryce Young trade is getting talked about as the worst trade in NFL history. This is getting up there. This is getting up there with that stuff because I believe the Cleveland, I think I was hearing this on a podcast this week. The Cleveland Browns still have Deshaun Watson under contract until 2027. If they got rid of him after this season and just decide to cut him, I believe it would be like almost a $200 million cap hit, or maybe it's almost a $100 million dead cap hit, which is insane. There is no getting out of this contract. There is no, we'll just trade it. We'll just cut him. It seems like it's nearly impossible. Now, we say that a lot of times about NFL contracts, and then things happen. There is one other part of this with the contract. As you guys know, if you're watching this, or if you don't know, I guess I'm breaking the news to you now. Deshaun Watson did get another sexual assault lawsuit against him on Monday. And if you read the details of that, it's very disturbing. It is very disturbing. There was a part in that article that did say that there is a chance that if the NFL suspended Deshaun Watson again, that there's a chance that the Browns could void some of his contract because of that. There is a chance. Now, again, there's a lot of details that have to be sorted out of that. Contracts can be pretty, at times, be very complex. A lot of other times they can be, very simple. So we don't know, but if that's a case where this thing is ironclad and you can't get out of it, even through, an NFL suspension or something like that. This is probably one of the worst trades in NFL history. I mean, it is anyway, but this is completely unsalvageable. Again, last year, Browns fans know this. Joe Flacco came in, who was basically played 3 years with the Jets and was absolutely terrible. Seemed like he was washed like 7 years ago before he put on a Browns uniform last year and then took the Browns to the playoffs. Didn't do much when they got there, but still took them to the playoffs. And that kind of shows you how good this roster can actually be, how good this coaching staff can look if you have somebody that is competent at the quarterback position. And right now, the Browns don't. Again, like Dan Orlovsky said there, I think it would be absolutely a great idea to have Jameis Winston be the starting quarterback. I think he should be the starting quarterback next week, no debate. Because there's no way in training camp when the Browns were doing this stuff and they were playing in practice, there's no way Deshaun Watson is just outplaying. I understand Jameis Winston isn't the best quarterback, but there's no way he's outplaying Jameis Winston. There's no way you wouldn't put Jameis Winston there. Again, that's a dude that has mental lapse a lot of time with the quarterback decision, does not necessarily have a lot of good decision-making skills. Just look at his interception numbers. But he would 100% be a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson right now. So there you have it, guys. This Deshaun Watson story is just keeps getting worse and worse and worse for the Browns. So there you have it, guys. That's going to do it for this episode here today. If you liked what you saw here today, please hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. That is the best way to help support this show. And feel free to check out the rest of our podcast channel. You might find some other videos that you like. So thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you next time.